Welcome back for another one of Server Plus's many wonderful training videos. This time we're going to dig into proper problem diagnosis. Having good problem diagnosis can mean the difference between a 3-minute call and a 20-minute call. Meaning, we have seen many circumstances where techs will be stuck on calls that only take as long as they do because they aren't asking the customers the right kinds of questions before opening a DT. The idea here is we want to make sure the DT we're opening is the correct DT. Also, sometimes during problem diagnosis, we can figure out exactly what the problem is before even opening a DT. In times like this, it will shave several minutes off of the call. To really understand what we mean by proper problem diagnosis, we're going to explore the different DT issues we support and how we would approach them, or how we could approach the diagnosis for the problem, and hopefully make the troubleshooting process a little easier. First, we will talk about the can't connect with any devices DT. Most of the time, a customer will say, my internet isn't working, and the tech will assume that the correct DT is can't connect. And when this happens, we sometimes find that when they said it wasn't working, they meant it was just slow. Or sometimes it doesn't work and sometimes it does, which would mean it's intermittent. It's really important that we ask the customer to clarify what they mean when they say it doesn't work. Once that we've decided that can't connect with any devices is the correct DT, we should be still asking a few questions before we begin the DT. One of the most important questions to ask is this issue happening on multiple devices? We need the customer to clarify that this is their entire internet that's down, and not just one computer. Because if it's just one device, the DT won't actually fix the problem always. And the customer will get much better support from the manufacturer of the malfunctioning device. We will support the entire internet connection if it goes down. But if just one device isn't working, then that has to mean that it's an issue with just that device. Another great question to ask is if there is anything that happened in the area around the time the internet went down. Sometimes we'll find that there's a storm in the area, and as you know, this can affect fixed wireless. Even asking the customer something as simple like, have you moved any furniture around recently, will help you diagnose. Because if you have moved furniture, that might suggest that there could be a cabling issue. They might have accidentally moved something, unplugged something. So for slow speeds or intermittent DT issues, first thing you want to do is actually make sure they can connect to the internet. There has been multiple situations where a tech will follow a slow speed DT only to find out that they actually just couldn't connect. Other great questions to ask are, what is making you say that you have slow speeds? If customers trying to watch Netflix on 12 different devices, it's likely that they don't have slow speeds, they're just capping their bandwidth. Other questions like, what do you typically use the internet for, and what programs do you use, or what programs do you have open right now? And of course, is this happening on all of your devices? You want to ask these types of questions so that you can get a good idea of what's going on their network. Sometimes you'll be able to diagnose the problem is with something we don't support, like maybe Netflix is having issues at the moment the customer's calling in. It's also beneficial to get a general idea of what's happening so that following the DT will be easier and make more sense. If you're just blindly following DTs, you'll probably fix issues and do fine, but if you're properly diagnosing problems, it'll lower your talk times and even give you a better understanding of what the customer is trying to do on their network and why the DT steps are going to help you fix the problem. Sometimes it'll get you straight to the resolution without even having to go through extra DT steps. You can just figure out exactly what's causing the problem and get it fixed right away. So always make sure you're checking the notes as well. This is a vital part of problem diagnosis because the notes will let you know if the issue has already been escalated. If it has, then no amount of troubleshooting we do with the customer will help. At this point, you will always follow the checking on escalation DT. So that's everything with problem diagnosis. Thank you for tuning in, guys. There will be quizzes on all of our videos from now on, so be sure to take those so you can get credit for watching the videos. Thanks, guys, and good luck on your calls.